Hello, welcome to your spring season forecast videos for the vernal equinox beginning March 20th through June 21st, 2019. Of course, if you're watching this below the equator, then happy fall. I am recording this from Los Angeles, so I am in the northern hemisphere, but either way, the equinox signifies the time of year where the seasons shift to equal day and equal night. On a personal level, we are beginning to balance the winter's darkness of hibernation with the summer's vibrant light of activity. You may begin to sense on a deeper level some anticipation for upcoming changes at this time. So for these forecast videos, I will be drawing from the Hanson-Roberts Tarot, the Archangel Power Oracle cards, the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards, and finally the Secret Language of color cards and the dream cards, which I used in the yearly prediction videos. Also, because I feel like it, I will be reading reversals with the tarot for this particular video. I am also open to suggestions on reading from other decks, so if there's a particular one that you want me to read from that I have, feel free to make suggestions. I welcome your comments, so if there's anything you want more of, let me know. I'm a little bit reticent recording this during the retrograde, but let's just see how this goes. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. So anyway, keep in mind that these are general forecasts based on your sun, moon, or ascendant. So if you need more of a personalized reading with me, feel free to book a reading through my website, SunGoddessAshley.com, where you can also see the other services that I offer. The link to my site is posted in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started with your readings. Gemini, let's see what spring has in store for you. Okay, so I'm going to be using the tarot and doing a Celtic cross to get the energy of spring for you. Okay, let's see. Three of Cups, Page of Rods, the Hanged Man. Okay. Be careful of the tricks you play because you can be tricked in return. It's like what you, I almost get like it has to do with like sort of the sly, sort of on the sly, that fox sort of kind of energy that's a little bit sneaky. It's not malicious, it's definitely just an energy of like maybe trying to get away with something you're not, or actually, you know, oftentimes you can use this to your benefit as like avoiding things. It's like avoiding people, avoiding things. It does talk about maybe there's a reason that you're doing this, because the theme here is reciprocity. Giving and receiving in return, right? So it's like what you give to others, like yes, the good you do does come back to you, but if other people are a bit lazy, complacent, or even greedy, and you're giving too much, it's like time to pull that back. Now there's other ways that you can go about doing that, pulling that energy back, other than just avoiding people or ghosting people. And we can talk about that with the other cards here. So the Three of Cups does talk about your social circle. It does talk about you like enjoying the company of others, and things are pretty light and easygoing this spring. It does look like, you know, just sort of enjoying the activities that you have around you. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of unanticipated, exciting, fun things to do. That may be a distraction for you, since that's the problem, or that's the challenge. Now, I do feel like the answer to like not ghosting people is just saying speak up. That's all it takes. Even I feel like some of you may be sort of afraid to speak your mind because you're like not sure if you're going to be if other people are going to receive it in a way. If you're like, hey, by the way, I've done a kind of a lot for you, and I'm kind of noticing that you're not really X, Y, or Z, right? And you're like afraid that they're gonna sort of become offensive or just take it personally. It's like, this is like the card of attack, right? Now I do feel like with this is also that mutable swords energy, or mutable air. Knight of Swords is mutable air energy, which is Gemini. Now there is sort of a way of being able to dance around the topic. You sort of have the gift of gab. There's other things that's like, you have so many people that you deal with here. It looks like in the spring that it's, you know, maybe easy to do this, but it's saying it's very important just to be clear and speak up, right? I feel like that's like the biggest message that I'm getting through this, because everything else feels kind of just mellow. You have the Hangman, which I feel is just kind of hanging in there. Not a lot is happening. Not a lot of like major things are happening. It just looks like kind of, you know, pretty decent like activity. The Hangman is like hanging out a lot. It's like hanging out with your friends. One of the other things with the Hangman is like feeling like other people are sort of putting you upside down or putting you out in some way and shaking your pockets. So pockets can be money, it could be time, it could be energy, it can be whatever that is. It's very important that you remain that things are balanced, right? That's sort of the theme of spring, right? The balance between winter and summer. So I feel like this is coming out in your personal activities with other people, your interpersonal relationships. It does talk about the Six of Rods. Now, this is interesting to me because I usually see this as like a card of being supported by other people or supporting other people, cheering other people on, but I don't see you doing that. And again, there may be a reason for that. This can be a card of like failure, or feeling like you failed, or feeling like people have failed you in some way. They're not living up to the expectations or the hopes. But it's important. I think you learn a lesson about not putting certain people on a pedestal, and just sort of moving on, or just coming up with also creative solutions of sort of how to speak your mind without being offensive or too blunt, right? Okay, so hopes and fears is the Nine of Pentacles. It talks about security, having things under control, just sort of enjoying your environment as well, which is what I see with the Hangman. But I do feel like there's going to be a lot that's sort of drawing you out of the home to sort of socialize and be with other people. It does talk about lots of social events happening here. And I do feel like you might meet a new friend. If the new friend is exhibiting these sort of characteristics, and I'm getting like, what I'm getting hearing something specifically is like the promise of one day. Like there's sort of like that carrot and the stick. They're sort of going to lead you to prosperity one day. It's like, kind of watch out for the red flags. It says the signs and omens are cautioning you. So just, like again, someone may sort of fall from grace that you end up meeting in the springtime. That's okay. It's just like, you may end up avoiding them. Okay. So that's what I see. Here in this spread. I'm going to draw oracle cards then, one card for each month of spring. So we're in March, so we're going to do March, April, May, and June. I'm going to be drawing 4 cards total. So the end of March, April, May, and June. March, April, May, June. Okay, so far you have a lot of pages. You have the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups. That's like 3 out of the 4 pages here. You have a lot of swords. You've got the 7 of Swords, you've got the Knight of Swords, the Page, the Ace, the 4, and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so it's a lot of mental activity, a lot of conversation, lots of communication, lots of words. It's about speech. It's about getting your point across, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like making sure you get your point across. March is more of like relaxed mental activity. So it's like saying peace of mind. The message is insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seeking relief from stress. April, you have the Two of Wands. Make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. Okay, then you've got the Page of Swords, which has the qualities of being truthful, having perspective, being analytical, and maybe a bit blunt as well. Straightforward. So it says, an exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents thoroughly. Okay. You may get some sort of idea here. Talks about like new ideas coming in. It's the messenger of ideas, and then there's like clarity. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. That's kind of the whole theme of what I was getting from the tarot as well. Ten of Swords. A situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So whether or not you end up having a new friend that comes in and that ends up closing, you're always going to meet new people. It talks about like time sort of goes on. So okay, I'm going to pull a message for the healing with the angels for Gemini. What is it for spring? Self-acceptance. It's important to put yourself first, or at least know that you're worthy of, you know, respect, basic things, basically, right? Self-acceptance is self-love, accepting who you are as you are, not being afraid of other people, what they'll think of you if you do A, B, or C, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull a color card, Gemini, for spring. Coral. Allow flow and synchronicity into your life. I very much get that with this 2 here, the synchronistic energy of April. I feel like this is more so for April, but also just, you know, came up for spring in general, so we'll take it. Okay, and then I'm going to finally just draw one message from the dream cards as like a closing message here. This one's definitely this one. Praised. I do not need to be recognized for my efforts, as I think of myself highly, and so therefore then people around me also. That really vibes well with self-acceptance. You don't need the acceptance from other people. You can have support from other people, but when it becomes, again, that pedestal, it's like you don't want to be on the pedestal. You don't want other people on the pedestal. You know, we take care of ourselves. Okay. Okay, so this was your spring 2019 forecast readings. I will see you in the upcoming summer forecast videos. If you liked it, leave a like. If you like my content, please subscribe. Sending you blessings for spring. Take care and be well.